Ole, ole, ole. Let's take off that grid. Ole. Welcome back to the show. Today is, March 26th. It's 8:30 and you're locked into Checkin Habs, your up-and-coming Montreal Canadiens hockey podcast. If you bleed bleu, blanc, et rouge, you're in the right place. This is where we break down current topics on the most legendary franchise in NHL history, your Montreal Canadiens. We're talking game recaps, player performances, trade rumors, prospect updates, lineup updates, and everything happening around the league that impacts the Habs. We stream live every Thursday at 8:30, so make sure you subscribe, follow, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. In the owner's box, we got yours truly, Mr. Brian, and let's go around. Let's see who's the starting line. We got Steve.
What's up, everybody?
And next we got Pat.
What's up?
And Tony.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys. Habs Nation, let's check in with the Habs. All right.
1-1 currently.
1-1 currently against
the Columbus
Blue
Blue Jackets.
All right, these are the topics tonight, and we're starting off with last week's game. Not last week's, but the last game, Carolina versus Montreal recap. So let me ask you guys, how did Montreal handle Carolina's fierce pace and relentless forecheck in their latest match against Carolina?
Big topic, eh? The Kings. It was a tough game for at least the first period, especially.
My God, they came in like a train that first period. I think it finished 10-1 in shots. That first period. First period, it was 10-1. They came in hard.
I mean, I'm very surprised of the results. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
Why? Because 41 shots.
Yeah.
Like Dobesh there, he saved the day. And we don't usually get this type of results because of goaltending in Montreal right now. Especially since Monty got, out of sync with his brain and stuff. And now we're starting to see that Dobesh and Fowler are picking up the pieces here. I'm impressed that Dobesh really did a great...
The narrative in the beginning of the period didn't really justify what everybody was thinking, because they said Montreal was flat-footed. Yes, they were flat-footed, but they started off the period right away on a power play, on a penalty, and you're going up against a team like the Hurricanes, who are they play a heavy forecheck. Like, they're a heavy forechecking team. They do a lot of shots. Like, the way they've been maintaining this, I don't see them even going far in the playoffs because they're going to burn themselves out. So, right away, that first period was a disaster. But as soon as they got their feet, he kept them in the game. He made the saves, and then they were off to the races. No?
Yeah, we're snipers at the moment. You know what I mean? We're lucky at
we're the third highest scoring team in the NHL.
So how many shots on goal did we have versus the Canes?
It was low scoring. I think
19.
It was
20 shots, 29.
it was nothing.
Terrible.
You can't go anywhere.
Well, no, Carolina had 18 shots. No,
in total.
In total. Okay, you're talking about first period.
Yeah. In the whole game, it was 41-19 from what I understand. I think maybe it could be changed.
Oh no, it was 18 Carolina, 43. No, sorry, Carolina had 43 shots. Montreal 18 shots.
That's not a good. We're very lucky to win that. Come on, guys.
It could have been a 5-4
Carolina's
game.
heavy like that
game.
In every game they play with every team. They're a heavy forechecking team.
They don't let you come out of your zone. If you notice it, they're very heavy on the attack, and you have to kind of break that pattern. Canadians were doing a lot of going out and then coming back in, give back to the defense. Mistakes were happening. They were never breaking that zone, that injury. I find Carolina, they're extremely strong on that. Yeah. You cross that blue line, you're going north. They're heavy, and they're not just one guy's on you. But like Tony said, they're going to burn themselves out. I think going into the playoffs, they're the weakest link, the team not to be worried about. Be worried about Tampa. Be worried about Buffalo. Carolina, sure. I'm not too worried about.
I'm worried about
them.
every team in the Atlantic Division. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah. They're so competitive.
Compared to the Pacific, yeah.
If Montreal would have been in the Metropolitan Division, we would have been easy peasy for us.
Yeah. But do you guys have any from that game? Are you worried from our defense? Are you still thinking about our defense? Is it
Absolutely.
Is she an issue right now?
Well, if you bring up the lineup, Brad, can you bring up the lineup of the Carolina game? So they fixed. If you look, they fixed the issues with Gouli. He's back on the left, and he's playing with Carey, right? So Madison's back with Dobson. I like that combination, even though everybody likes Hudson and Dobson. But in order to keep Gouli there, they sacrifice Hudson. Hudson's playing on the left. That's the only thing I don't like is Hudson on the right hand again.
Speaking of Dobson, I don't want to interrupt you, but he was amazing in the first period. He was actually one of the reasons why the score was so low in the first. He was doing good things while everybody, if you pay attention to the good things that the Canadians were doing in the first. I just want to mention that. I got to give credit to him. It was a good change.
Yeah, I agree. He
stepped up in Carolina. He really was he the reason that Canadians were like going into the second like, okay, we got to step up, we got to do something. But they came back and they scored 5 unanswered goals. So I mean, they came back as a hard train, but you know what, Steve, to go back to what you were saying, are you happy seeing them? That I don't know, low scoring, letting them come in and take 41 shots on you. You can't go into the playoffs and think, we got this in the bag.
I agree.
You ain't got nothing in the bag. You don't have Cale Makar on D. You might have a few good defensemen, but you don't have a full 6-man D line.
And you know who I've been very disappointed with so far? Like, well, not so far, but lately it's Matheson. Mike has been, coughing up the puck a bit too much, and
the first 1 or 2 goals was because of his fault. No,
and even the loss versus who again? Now we lost 2-1 or something against them. I forget just the game before the Islanders, I think. And I was like,
he
wow.
messed up.
Yeah, that was just like he turned
they
around
won against the Islanders. No, they won 17.
Yeah, we won, but the game before
the game before the Islanders,
and I forget who that was again.
Detroit.
Oh, it was Detroit. Yeah, we lost against Detroit.
Yeah,
and he coughed up the puck there, I don't know where.
Who
Matheson, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't really blame. He just lost his footing. It's not really a mistake because he was skating backwards. It's not like he made a mistake. Look,
You're unapologetic, though. That was an awful
it was awful
game
the way it looked,
there.
But it's not like one of those mistakes where he had a choice on what to do and he made the wrong decision. He
turned around at the wrong time.
Yeah,
he puked it out, and it was a bad decision making at that moment. Unfortunately, that's what it was.
I'm not worried about Matheson, especially his type of game. It's gonna reflect well into the playoffs. It's the Hudson line that I don't like. They're keeping him on the right. Obviously, they're keeping Struble in the lineup because he's able to play more minutes now. It's balancing out the defense. Time. So he got a goal tonight. That's besides it. But I still don't think it's the right fit.
You're not confident with Struble on the first?
They either got to bring in a defenseman or see what Ryan Backer can do. You know what? At this point, you're gonna play Struble. Why not just bring in Ryan Backer next year? How much worse than
Struble?
Can he be defensively even though he's young? I don't think so. He's doing awesome. I think he's gonna be the 6th defenseman, and either Jacky or Struble is gonna be number 7. One of them is gonna be out. That's what I think. Hudson, 3 games he was on the right, and tonight was his first game with a point. He hadn't gone 3 games without a point all season.
Hudson.
Yeah. And he dropped from like 2nd or 3rd to like 4th amongst defensemen in points because he missed 3 games without a point.
Well, Struble scored tonight, though, eh?
Yeah.
And he's been playing kind of hot, truthfully.
Well, he's been getting more minutes, which is balancing out time for all the other defensemen, like I said. But this is not the long-term fix for that.
Yeah, well, it's good to have Struble, I don't know.
It's either you have Hudson on the right and you have to put Gouli back on the left. On the right. You either put, Hudson back on the left, and you have to switch up to Struble, Gouli. But I wouldn't move Gouli. He's got a game that's going good right now, and you need him as one of your top 2 pairings on defense.
Anyways, I'm happy that Struble's kind of playing good right now, and Jacky, even though he's out, I'm actually surprised that Struble's in, but at the same time, at the beginning of the year, if you would have told me it would have been Struble instead of Jacky at the moment, I would have been wow. I mean? I would have been
Yeah,
very
we
surprised.
spoke about this last
But it-
episode.
The roles of Jacky and
Between Jack Guy and Struble, and who'd you rather keep? And
But I don't think they're looking at many factors. Like they're trying to switch them both in, but if they're gonna keep the other pairings the way they are, they're not gonna put Jacky and Hudson. They'd rather put Jacky. They'd rather put Hudson with Struble. So this is another reason why I think they're keeping him out. Until all these defensemen are playing in the right chair, they're not gonna be. It's got to be Gooley on the left, Hudson on the left, Madison on the left. Right now, 2 out of the 3 are playing in the proper seat.
anything else about the recap?
No, I think we're good.
We should talk about
Okay,
these,
before I hit the chat, I just want to show you guys an interesting stat. So, remember we changed the goalie coach. So before before Marco Marciano, the Dobaj was 14-5-3, and looks ever since Marciano 9-3-1. So you think the coach affected it, or you think he's just getting more experience, or
It had an effect for sure.
yeah?
I think the administration knew this guy. They had to keep Marco Marciano. That's why
bring
they
him
kicked that other guy. You know, ciao. Get rid of this douchebag.
Did it exactly like that.
Oh, yeah.
Ciao.
But I mean, you know, no, he's improving, and even Fowler. It seems like, you know, because before, I mean, I guess Fowler has been also working with Marciano even in the AHL as well.
So
That's where in Dobesh too. So they have more confidence with this guy than who was it before again?
Eric.
It's Eric Raymond.
Eric Raymond.
Raymond.
Eric Raymond.
Yeah.
So
All right, so I just want to hit the chat, guys. So we got, I don't know if they're still on, but we got some hellos.
Got some
We got
Brazilians.
some Brazil. Man, you guys like hockey in Brazil? Let's see, Jason Brophy. I hope all is well. Guys, Avalanche takes it this year, if not Buffalo. Okay.
Mhm.
He has a question. Does Matthew stay in Toronto? Okay, a little side quest over here. What do you guys think?
No.
Fast, quickly.
I say no.
Not
No,
long term. Maybe next year, but not long. I don't know.
I
We'll
think
see.
he will.
No.
He will.
Yeah, you think he's going to stay? And what's up with Arbor? Getting dropped multiple times this season. I've never seen him lose as much fighting as this season.
He hasn't been fighting much, but the reason why he's out is exactly what I explained before. Has to do with a lot of aspects, right?
But I think
Confidence game.
dropped means that he's been
Dropped? Not really. He hasn't been dropped. He hasn't had many fights. He's also going into games not wanting to make a mistake. He's tippy-toeing, not wanting to get penalties. So once he gets that mindset away and he goes back to the way he played before, man, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Makes sense since the standings are so tight. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to cough up the game. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And we're
I
the
agree
most
with you.
penalized teams, the Habs.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, funny enough. Well,
Interesting
look,
stat.
we just every game we start, we're starting off with a freaking
With a
penalty.
penalty.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Just last game we did it. I don't know about this
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm. His game too.
Oh,
5
this
minutes
game-
in.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awful.
5 minutes in, Slavkovsky got a penalty.
You got
Off
it,
the
Jace.
penalties and more shots. That's what you guys need. I think I just saw the second period finished 14 shots. Not good. 2 periods, 14 shots. Not going
Right.
too far. Got to put pressure.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
Move on.
Mhm.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about Caulfield. All right. Is Cole Caulfield shaping up to be the league's #1 natural goal scorer in the race to 50 this season? What do you guys think? Is he a #1 natural goal scorer?
I'm thinking I'm starting to regret saying he was going to hit 50 this year.
Bad take, but bad.
When he hits 50, I'm going to show that replay of you saying
I was,
it.
I was sweating the last game when I thought he scored that second goal, but it ended up being
Last week we were talking about, and it was 40 goals, right?
yeah. He hit the 40, and we were saying, is he going to hit 50 before Suzuki hits, or is Suzuki going to hit 100? And I was like, Suzuki's more likely to hit 100 before he hits 50.
Pat gets the freaking flesh, bro.
And then,
We'll see.
and then he hits 3
see.
goals right after
And then he hit 3 goals, yeah. He gets 3 goals and then another goal, almost 2 goals against Carolina. Almost a second goal. He had the tip, but then it ended up going off Fanders. Was that tip in front of the net?
I'm surprised Slav got it. It looked like cool.
It was Slav. It was Slav.
Yeah,
It was Slav in the front of the net. But I think he deflected it, but it went off of Slav because it went low to Cole.
Mm-hmm.
He tipped it high, but Slav was
And
in
then it
front of the
touched
net,
again.
and it touched Slav, and it went in. So he got the tip. It
Yeah.
kind of, and I was like,
Even this game, right? He almost scored recently, just like in this period.
Almost. Yeah. So
Yeah, almost.
look, if you compare it to the leading scorer right now, which is McKinnon, I think he's a more McKinnon's a phenomenon. Like I'm not trying to say
They're
he's
two
better
different
than-
players.
but
they're two
he is
different
a
players.
good. He is up there. He's one of the top natural goal scorers in the NHL. Like McKinnon's gotten goals in the empty net. He hasn't gotten 1 goal this year in the empty net. Caulfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a stupid stat, but
Yeah, but
I
still.
give credit because it is a
But-
big stat that to go a whole season score 40 plus goals
Yeah.
without scoring a single empty
Yeah.
net. It's a pretty big. I heard it the other
Significant.
day.
The goal-
Someone was saying Brett Hall. He had a lot of 50 goals in 50 games. He did a lot of those, and he only got it late in his career that he started hitting 11 empty nets in one season. Other than that, he never hit an empty net. So Brett
Yeah,
Hall
but
was
look at all the goals.
natural goal scorer.
But he's getting these goals in all these soft spots, all these spots
Tight.
on the tight
spots.
spots. These
He
spots where
is-
defensemen won't go because they know
Exactly.
it's a harder place.
Yes.
It's the least possible. What's the
The
word?
low percentage,
Yeah,
low
exactly.
percentage,
and he's scoring from there.
yeah.
You know,
Probabilities are low.
the probability. That was
You
the
see,
word
that's
was
where I
looking for.
see two different players between McKinnon and they both score high goals, but McKinnon is big. He brings speed, and McKinnon overall does a lot more than Cole Caulfield does. He creates the plays. He drives the puck. Cole Caulfield is in
Well,
the
he's more
right
of a power
spot,
forward,
and
right?
it depends on his players around him. But he's not going to create those big plays that Nathan brings it. He brings the train.
Well,
You're
one's
either in his way-
one's a centerman and one's a winger.
No, I know that, but because you're saying they're both high scoring, they're goal scorers, but they're two different players. They both.
Yeah.
Cole is what Nathan doesn't have is he doesn't have that tightness. He doesn't go in those little tight spots. Cole is
Not
there.
the same thing.
He does these little things in these spots that you're like, I never would have thought someone would have thought to be there.
Yeah.
And just like the deflection, we were talking on Slav. It's such a smart play to keep your stick down and be well positioned. He had that goal, whether Slav was there or not. He was going to get it. He's always in the right position.
McKinnon is he's a volume.
He's a force. Yeah, he's
He's a volume kind of
Fuck,
guy.
how many shots does he take in a game,
No,
McKinnon? He doesn't stop.
Yeah,
He takes the
exactly.
shot and he's going for 4 rebounds.
Well, even
Cole Caulfield doesn't need
Caulfield
to
has
take
the most
those.
shots in a game. He leads the NHL in
No, but I
taking shots
find-
per game.
It's McKinnon.
No, McKinnon
Sure?
has
No,
more
yeah,
shots.
yeah,
McKinnon
McKinnon
has
is a beast.
more shots, but Cole has more quality
Yes.
shots
no,
on
no,
that.
he's a sniper.
It's volume, like you said. Volume.
Caulfield has a 21%.
Caulfield.
Yeah. Cole, right? He has 21% like shot percentage that's going in. That's crazy.
21 is pretty good.
That's it's elite. And is it sustainable long term? Can he do 21%? I don't think he's probably one of the highest in the league. Normally that drops off sometimes,
What he's doing is remarkable. Like the other night, he almost got 2 goals, but they took one back. But it was all him. It was just lucky that it went off Slavkovsky's.
That's
lead.
what we were saying. But the goal was his. It was
Yeah.
his goal. He tipped it.
Yeah.
The pass, the
Didn't
initial. I
tip
don't know.
it. It just went off his knee.
No, Cole tipped it. Cole tipped the puck and it went high because it was a low pass straight to
No,
Cole
I'm talking
across.
about. I'm talking about the last game against Carolina.
Yeah,
This
when
second-
Cole tipped it and it went off Slav in front of the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Caulfield shot the puck and it went off Slav. The second goal.
The second. I thought you were talking about the one that the defenseman took a shot
No,
and Cole deflected it high and it went off
No.
the player in
no, I'm
front
talking
of
about
the
the second goal. Second goal. He had scored, and then a few minutes later, he thought he scored again, and then they gave it to Slavkovsky.
net.
Yeah, it was the second goal.
Yeah, it was the second
Yeah.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Pat was saying. So what's the sentiment now? Think he's going to reach 50?
Oh, he's gonna reach 50.
Yeah,
especially.
sure.
It's, but I was more concerned about. People hit 50 all the time, but do you think he's a natural goal scorer, the most natural goal scorer in the NHL right now? And I just compared it to McKinnon, and McKinnon right now leads the NHL in goals, But I think he has a legitimate chance at this pace to surpass McKinnon and win the Rocket?
Well, since January he has more goals scored than
Anyone in the
McKinnon,
league? Yeah.
than anyone in the league.
Yes.
He is the number one goal scorer since January.
Since January 2nd, when they announced the U.S. national
That's right.
Olympic team.
Ironically, when they announced it, and who's your number one goal scorer? Go Caulfield.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
let's be
hey,
happy. Well,
They
we
still
still
won.
lost.
They
but,
still won the fucking gold medal. Though, so I don't
but
think
imagine
they
Cole
needed it.
Caulfield scored that goal. We'd be like,
I'd probably be happier than fucking Hughes, no?
Ben Whitier, welcome back, buddy.
Hey.
All right, so guys, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like if you're loving Habstock. Comment, leave a comment or a chat on your thoughts, and set a reminder for every Thursday at 8:30 Eastern to catch the latest news with the crew. Go on with the next.
Can I just interrupt for a sec there? Because we're talking about the shots on net. I have the stat here.
Yeah,
okay?
go for it. Go for it.
Cole Caulfield has 210 shots on net. All right. And he has 44 goals, right? That's 21% shooting average.
I would love to know McKinnon.
Okay, it's on top here. He's the first, okay? He has 303 shots on net. And he's got
Not much more.
not much more.
Not much more. I was
but
expecting a lot more
80
volume.
shots more. Okay. Pretty much.
And only 2 goals.
2 goals. Let's see how let's see.
What's
He's
the percentage?
at 15?
And
So
only 2
his finishing rate is better.
Yes.
Caulfield.
Yeah, he's at 15%. It's a big difference.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
5% more, like, hey. So does that drop off? He I don't know. Is
Well,
he
he's
the
taking
most?
advantage of those low-scoring spots on the ice.
Guys, sorry to interrupt there, but out of 25 players, he has the highest percentage right now. Cole Caulfield, the best 25. So that usually drops off. Let's be honest with each other here, guys. As much as we love Cole here, the reality is that he can't keep up with this pace. So expect.
No, but right now it's a stretch
confidence
run.
game. It's a confidence game. All of a sudden, you're catching all. Dude, he sees things so well, but then the moment that you don't see things well, that's when things change. Just to say, sorry guys, I trade, I invest. Sometimes I get lost. I'm losing all my trades, and then all of a sudden, boom! Every single one are clicking. It's a confidence game sometimes. Boom! That's all I want to talk about.
No, good point.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We move on, guys.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So, should Montreal ride the hot hand of their top line or spread the offense to create balance? What do you guys think? Should they shuffle things around or keep it as it is?
I'll start off easy because we just talked about a few points on this. We talked about how the young kids are stepping up right now. Like that first line, you got all these young superstars that are making this big impact. So you don't want to touch anything naturally. You're like, cool, keep everything, let it flow. We're going into the playoffs on a good pace right now. But at the same time, we were talking about how Dobesh is eating 40-plus shots a game. When I see a goalie that's going to start eating, and if he's going to do another 40 shots tonight, you're going to have to start spreading out that scoring. It can't just be your top young line. You gotta put scoring a bit everywhere. You gotta shake something up.
So
you gotta bring in shots. Something's gonna happen.
So I would agree with you 100%. Most of the time, like
I like it when you don't.
You need balanced scoring.
Yeah.
Especially to survive a whole season, and especially the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You can't rely on one team. But right
depth.
now,
You need that depth.
right now, they're not like you have a top team. That top line is driving, and they're good. These guys are dominating the league right now.
Absolutely.
So I would say keep the line together and ride it until it is. That second line, I think they're like that. I've seen some improvements within the last few games, but you have to ride that line till the end of the season. Then when the playoffs comes, I guess it's a different story. If you need to balance out the two lines, maybe switch Safkovsky back onto that line. But who knows what the situation is in a couple of weeks, right? But right now, if that line wasn't producing as heavy as they were and they weren't as productive and dominant as they were, I would have said, look, Suzuki and Caulfield, they're still going to produce. Let's bring Slav back on the second line and get some, because we need the offense. But these guys are producing so much. They're killing. Just leave it. Like,
yeah, but it's easy to say that now that they're killing it.
Yeah,
because like if they weren't killing it, it would be very easy to say like, get this garbage top line.
But
You got to
that's why I'm
spread them
saying.
all.
That's why I'm saying.
So
and then next year, but it also tells you, gives you an idea. Montreal right now, from the looks of it, they don't need one top forward. They need two.
Yeah.
So they're either gonna get one from somebody they already have in the market, or
it's
they're
just
gonna
be
get
a young,
or they're gonna pick up somebody for a trade. But it's not one now. If you're gonna keep Slavkovsky on that first
top
line,
You need
which
depth.
I think
You
is
need
the
to go to your
ideal
second.
thing to do because they're so good together, you can go into next year having Demidov, especially on his second year, his sophomore year, playing with nobody, because Kapanen and Newhook on a third pairing, on a third line, would be so good.
Yeah.
If you had, it would be so good. Then you'd have really three good
That's
lines.
depth. That's depth. That's
yes.
a third line with Hook. I love it. I totally agree with you,
Exactly.
Tony.
Repeat that. Tom.
That's scary.
Who would you want?
Realistically, now the emergence of bringing Slav back onto that first line made us realize we didn't need one more piece up front. We need two.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have Demidov on that second line, but he's playing with Kapanen and Newhook.
Yeah.
So if you'd have the Kapanen and Newhook on the third pair, on the third line, they would be phenomenal third line players.
I agree.
Kapanen is not a center. He would be a great winger or a great third line center.
Yeah.
But he's not fit to be second line, which tells me next year Montreal either has to have somebody come in that can do the role that's already in their organization, like Hage, and bring in someone else, so you can keep Slavkovsky on that second line, on that first line. That's what you need. So they need two more pieces now. I figured, not one.
So would you say? Listen, my stats right now that I saw that I'm thinking here is that okay. So the first line right now they're +9. Okay, and then the second line is +7. They're not far apart.
Yeah,
first and second line.
A big,
And they have much less time on the ice, the second line compared to the first line, right? We all agree on that. So they're not far apart, you know. And what if they just had that right center? Okay, so Kapanen, we switch him out, we put him, we put a real center, and that second line. Could it not be better than the first line? It could, possibly, right? If Demidov, Kapanen, and a real crazy center, that would be interesting. Eito, would you agree?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
That would be your second big player that Tony was saying.
I'm sorry.
So if you had Kapanen, Demidov, and a real center, it could beat the first line that we have right now.
No, right now, ideally, you don't want Kapanen and Newhook on that second line anymore. You want to have them down.
Yeah,
because eventually,
bring that depth.
Eventually, Dano, Anderson, and Gallagher are all going to be out after next year.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you get all these players in place so that those guys can replace the third line, and you have somebody that can really play with Demidov, and you can really make some plays. Like he's been producing, but
guys,
imagine
look.
what.
Not included.
Without empty nets, 44, 42, 39. Sorry, just those.
Oh, okay.
I was on screen. I want to show you.
So if Demidov would have played with Suzuki and Caulfield all year, I think his productions would have been a lot higher.
Of course,
because of the talent he has.
Talent and
but
time.
Look at the way he played that shift in the second period against Carolina the other night. He was undressing the freaking defenseman back and forth, off the boards. Like.
But
he's
he does
amazing.
that all the time. He's
I
got
know
hands.
That, I know that, but at his age, so and he hasn't even reached his peak. So
no.
So yes, you can bring Slavkovsky down, but but him staying on that line and producing the way they are, it answers a lot of questions for Montreal this last couple of weeks. They're so dominant that we have no choice but to make sure we bring two pieces, solidify that second line. That's
So,
what I think.
For the rest of the season, though, do you think, let's say, that they should switch it up? Like,
No. For the rest of the season, Slavkovsky's
Are
staying
you-
on that line.
Are you not worried though? Like,
No.
Can I will ask you this question because don't you think the teams, once it's playoff time, they're gonna say, "Perfect. This is exactly what we wanted."
But this is what I'm
We
saying.
wanted-
Playoff is a different story.
Yeah, but
Get to the playoffs first. Right now, that top line, they don't need it because they're a high-scoring team. They have to concentrate on scoring and maintaining a good defensive structure and being able to close out games. That's their number one priority. They can do that. They're gonna make the playoffs. Going into tonight's game, Steve, they're 92% a chance that they're gonna make the playoffs. 92%.
yeah.
So if they win tonight, like I'm pretty sure they're gonna be okay. Nothing's set in stone, but like
Versus Columbus is an important game, obviously.
yeah, because it's another
they're
team
up
that's
the heels.
chasing.
They're right up the heels, man.
Yeah.
These guys.
They need at least a point tonight. know?
Since Rick Bonus, remember I was like Rick Bonus. Hey,
Yeah.
Rick Bonus, he freaking shakes it up, and it gives him a little pop, type of thing. Anyways,
Anyway, so that's why I think they should. That line should stay intact. Logically, long term, balance scoring is the best thing. But right now, you have no choice to keep that line together. They're too strong.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
And let's not forget about Zarowski coming up, right?
Oh, that's gonna be a little bit longer than because he has
Yeah,
to worry
but-
about a contract. He's under contract in the KHL.
Yes, but just some news that he finished second, tied with Kaprizov this season.
Yeah. No, I know all that. Like,
You know that stat?
if Montreal was able to bring him over, they'd bring him over today, but it's not going to happen because he's under contract and they won't release him. This is a little bit more complicated than the Demidov situation. And you know what? I think their priority is Hage right now, and then they'll look at him. I think they're doing one step at a time. There's no reason to rush. I think towards the end of next year, they're gonna decide what to do with him. Who knows? Maybe they might pull another rabbit out of their hat and do what they did with Demidov, and they'll fly Barbarov to Russia and try to sweet talk them and try to see if they can break the contract or something. I don't know. Bring
some
him over.
gold.
I don't know.
There was some drama, no? They're upset. They were benching him. Remember that?
Oh, Demidov? They
Yeah.
didn't like him. the
Chow,
team.
they were benching him and stuff. They weren't letting him play. They were
Yeah,
like, pissed
they
at
didn't
him.
like him.
Well, they're upset that he wanted to. Well, that he was going to leave.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, that league is not like it was when I first started, so it's no way competing with the NHL anymore. So
Hey, finally,
Me.
I was here. you could have walked in.
well, how long were you outside? You're outside for a while. You should have just came in, man.
Cares, Willem, but-
Well, he sent a message on the chat, and I told him to come in.
Oh, I didn't see it.
We care about you, Manny. We care about you. We care a lot.
All right, we got a fifth player coming in.
Player 5 has joined.
We're
Sorry, guys.
not. It's not a penalty kill now. All right, good.
Yeah.
Camera's perfect angle. It's good.
Look at that. Huh? Sorry,
All right.
guys.
So all
One
was said.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. All right, guys, let's have a conversation about how rare it is for a rebuilding team like the Habs to produce so many award probably contenders simultaneously in the same season. Isn't that? I don't know if it's ever. I'm sure it's been done before, but it must be very rare that you have a young team. They already are talks of the Rockets. There are talks in the Calder Trophy, Norris, and Selke. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so basically, those four, Montreal has contenders for all four of those trophies. I don't know if I don't think they're gonna win all of them. But there's one in particular I think that is gonna be one for sure.
Suzuki Selke.
Yes,
That's it.
Suzuki. He's the front runner, and I don't think anybody after the next person under him, I don't think is gonna.
Who are
We got Yanni Gordy.
Yanni
we got
Gord- Yanni
Michael
Gord.
Amadio.
Yanni Gord would be the next one. No, I don't know. It's gonna be Suzuki. He's having a breakout year. He's been having a breakout year every season, but
Yeah.
he's been improving. There we go. They
They
just scored.
Well, Zick finally got it. Well, Zick has been.
He's what?
choking.
Six goals, 15 assists in his last
Where's
12
the
games.
I don't see it. That's why.
Think that
There you go. Now we have to maintain the lead.
Boston could kiss my ass.
Take it easy there.
Yeah, I realize.
Take it easy. Strike him anytime you want.
So, Selke for sure. You guys agree? There's
Hands down.
Hands down.
Selke, yeah, for especially right now, like what he has 6 goals, 15 assists in his last 12 games. I read somewhere the Montreal Canadiens. I have to pull this out. It was a pretty cool stat. I was like, okay, so the Habs are so much better with Suzuki on the ice that on 5-on-5, the Habs outscore their opponents 58-36 when he's on the ice.
Wow.
So
Really?
that's a huge playmaker. That's the difference of, and I don't think he's sitting in the corners in the shadows.
No, he's back checking.
He's doing
Yeah,
something,
he's doing
and he
it.
might not be on the scoreboard, but if you notice something, he's always doing something. He's back checking.
Yeah.
He's not on the scoreboard, but he is on the scoreboard. But when he's not, he's still doing something.
He's sneaky good,
Yeah,
man.
he's so good. No, so Selke,
But he's
absolutely.
so responsible as well. He's very responsible with the puck. He doesn't he doesn't mess up a lot of.
No.
Doesn't screw up a lot of times.
That's why they're comparing him to.
Bergeron.
Oh, sorry.
Take it easy.
Patrick Bergeron.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Say that when he has a Stanley Cup ring.
And when
Don't talk about the best two-way player.
and when
in
he
the world.
wins 6 Selkies.
Guys, you know what?
Every player gets compared to somebody, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but there's no one like him.
There's no one like Bergie.
I love
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
So
Bruins.
apparently, according to Maddie and Pat, no player could ever be compared.
Nope.
Selke.
Nope.
No, Bergeron.
That's just typical.
I say we
Bruins talk.
retire the number 37 right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Across the NHL.
Across the NHL. You did it for
Retire the
Gretzky.
league.
We're doing it for Berkey.
Exactly.
Morons.
Right.
All right.
I'm so happy, Manny.
talk about
joined
what?
us today.
You got it, baby. I got your back.
So apart from the Selke, like there's the Norris.
Okay, so apart from Selke, I'm gonna go with the other closest one is the Maurice Richard, the Rocket.
Okay, like want to go with the Rocket? The Rocket.
Let's go with the Rocket. Let's get that out of the way because we already talked about Caulfield. He's gonna get it.
Yeah.
No, we don't know yet. Right now, it's between him and McKinnon.
Running, yeah.
He has a legitimate chance to
We set the
win.
pace since January. He's better than McKinnon right now. So if he's on pace and McKinnon's still on his pace, he should beat McKinnon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that, but it's fair to say that McKinnon is a beast, and Caulfield might not get a goal.
He had a
every
slow
game.
start. Caulfield had a really slow start at the beginning of the season. I think I don't know, September he didn't score much. October as well, and then it kind of slowly picked up. And but
that first line was building. It was chemistry. It was like juices boiling, and
exactly.
Some players are like that though. It takes them a few.
Yeah, just to get into the rhythm and get the beat of things.
It's also the line getting chemistry and getting better together.
Exactly.
Feeling the mix.
So the Selke for sure. The Rocket is a good possibility
Very
too.
good possibility.
Okay, so that would be the second.
And now we fall into gray zones.
Well, there's also the Art Ross. He's far, but Suzuki's on the top 10 for the Art Ross.
But
obviously, he's got a long
I
way
think
to
that's
go.
gonna go to. I think that's gonna go to Celebrini.
Yeah.
Pellegrini,
Yeah.
He's gonna catch up. He's at 113 here. Projected points. Okay, projected.
Or Kucherov.
Kucherov. Kuchi's fucking killing you, man.
Gucci.
Kuchi. The Kuch. My little Kuchi's on fire.
Kucherov. Yeah. It's gonna be he's the Rocket. He's not. It's gonna be
So Selke Rocket, we can fairly say.
It's burning.
Salky for sure.
Selke for sure. Rocket,
Rocket. That's the second.
95%.
That's the second trophy that could go to the
Well,
Canadiens.
because Selke, there's no one else, right? Like who else are you going to give it to? Barkov, injured, Reinhardt.
The next person in line is Gord, Yanni Gord. That's runner up. It's not gonna Yanni Gord or Michael Lamario. Right there. Those are the runners. It's gonna be Suzuki for sure. He's gonna.
But this has nothing to do with points, right? This is just votes, right? People voted.
Well, you don't have to be the number one in points, but if you're putting up points and you're a good player, I think it goes with.
But these guys get voted. This trophy is voted, right? It's not.
Yes.
It's not based on points. Yeah.
Like we base it like we were saying Bergeron before. We were joking, but he's the best two-way player. Usually, that's the kind of definition that I give to the Selke.
Yeah, me too.
But a guy that's also producing a lot of points on the offense while doing a lot on the back check.
I think it's Suzuki's. It's Suzuki's trophy.
It's his trophy. Calder.
Calder,
you want to say Hudson?
No, it's gonna go to Bouchard. I would hope Makar wins it.
You
but
think
right
Bouchard's
now,
gonna get it over Makar?
Well, right now he's got the most points. Usually,
We're talking about Calder, no?
oh, the Calder.
Sorry,
we're talking about Calder.
Yeah, the Calder. Yeah, okay, well,
It's true. We went into Hudson defense, and then we were. I don't know what.
Let's talk about the Norris.
Okay,
so let's talk about the Norris. I think right now, he was in second or third. He was in third at one point. He's dropped to like.
Who's this? Bouchard?
No, Hudson.
Yeah.
Right now it's Bouchard with the most points. But Makar is. I think Makar should win. The Norris always goes. They always take into consideration the most points, and I don't like that.
I always thought it was or it should be the player who has the biggest effect on his team.
It should be, but this is why I think there's been a lot of talk of splitting it into two types of the Norris and bringing in another
like an offensive defenseman,
well, like a Selke, but the opposite.
So keep the Norris
maybe.
as a defensive word, and bring in like a lot of people made, like even Pierre Maguire said, bring in the Bobby Orr trophy as the most offensive
Subban trophy.
No, Bobby Orr. I would call it the Bobby Orr as the offensive, because remember when what's his name used to play for Ottawa? Carlson.
Yeah.
Fucking the most horrible defensive player in the NHL, and he won the Norris because of all the points he put. It's ridiculous.
Makes sense because
the Norris is the best defenseman. Defenseman, you have to able to defend.
You have to be
Even Evan Bouchard is freaking horrible, and he's got so many points, and he's gonna he has a good chance of winning it. It doesn't make sense.
Do they take blocking into consideration for defensemen? They should. Why is it only points?
Yeah, they should.
I mean,
that's a big one.
So what? You're an offensive defenseman. You're putting up points because you're playing the power play. But if you ain't blocking,
what about the plus minus?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
The plus minus should be considered.
That's
right
a
now,
huge one for me.
I think
defense.
it should be all.
But most of the time, it's the guy with the most points. And right now, who's got the most points?
It's
Bouchard.
But who I don't think should get it. I
don't think he should get it either. That's
I don't even know why we're talking about. But
my opinion,
I think it should be Makar.
No, it should be Makar. Absolutely,
it's Makar, and even before Bouchard, then I would give it to Hudson.
So, guys, you want to hear what Paulie Market says?
Yeah.
Paulie Market NHL Calder Memorial Trophy winners is between Schaefer and Damidov.
Yeah.
And Schaefer has 97% of the votes so far.
Yeah, but right now we're talking about the Norris.
Let's talk about Norris, and then when we can talk about Calder.
Okay, I don't know. I was just giving you all the stats of all of them.
What's this?
Number 2.
Is there anything for the Norris?
Yeah, of course. There's we're talking about
say the Norris now.
The Norris now. Okay, the Norris now. So the Norris, it's between here 75% for who? Zach Werenski.
Yeah.
Wow.
15% for Cale Makar. 4% for Bouchard. 2% for Quinn Hughes. 1% for Lane Hudson. That's Paulie Market, guys.
Okay, no,
people
that's
are betting
bullshit.
on this.
Yeah, those
bullshit.
are fans.
Yeah, but those are fans.
No, that's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I would never give it to Werenski.
Money, bro. Money speaks louder than words, bro.
Iskanen's also part of the.
Oh, I think Hudson is gonna be. I think if he continues to put up points, like I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being a top 3 finalist.
But
I doubt it because a lot of people. Makar's gonna be there for sure, and you got to consider Werenski. Those two. Then the third finalist, it could it could be anywhere. And I think because of the team he's playing, because of the type of player he is, I think it's gonna go to Hughes instead of Hudson. That's what I think it's gonna be. Or it's gonna be Evan Bouchard as the third because he put up the most points. So
Why Hughes over Makar? You're saying
That
over Hudson, you mean?
yeah, over Hudson, but I don't see
Yeah.
Hughes getting it over Makar.
Yeah.
I think Makar's gonna win it.
I think yeah.
Because he's the most well-rounded.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when the list comes out. I think the three is gonna be
top?
Makar, Werenski, and Bouchard. That's who I think it's gonna be. Bouchard only because he's probably gonna finish with the most points, and they always take that into
Makar,
consideration.
Werenski, and Bouchard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what I
have maybe taken out. I would maybe take out Werenski and put in Hughes.
No way. No, not with the season he's having. Werenski all the way. He's flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be between him and Makar, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bouchard, but because of all the points. But that's why I hate.
That's
this
the Bouchard.
Just
It's
repeating
just
each
points.
other over and over.
So I took some snapshots of this, and we'll revisit afterwards. Okay, how bad it was
All right.
from Polymarket.
Sounds good.
All right.
You want to guys finish off with the Calder?
Yeah. So the Calder. That's
go on.
I think the
That's
one
an
that's
easy
the
one.
least
It's an easy one.
attainable. It's Schaefer is long gone. He likes Suzuki. He's the front runner, and he's ran away with it. What he's done in Long Island is
He's a team.
absolutely remarkable. And as much as Demidov is tied with,
Percentage are not even close. Well, these
No.
are just 96% chance he's going to win. The next one is 69%.
yeah.
so-
And even though Demidov and Seneca have top points, it's going to be Matthew Schaefer for sure. Absolutely.
What does Polymarket say? Oh, you already said. You said
Yeah.
Schaefer.
Schaefer.
It's
Dobesh
definitely
is up
Schaefer.
there.
Yeah. It's going to be Schaefer. Yeah.
The Heart.
All right.
Lane Hudson's there for the Heart, too.
The Heart.
99.9% chance.
Oh.
That's not bad.
Lane Hudson.
But by the way, what we're looking at is from The Athletic.
Yeah.
So this is
I
Cooch
think
is still there.
I think Cooch is gonna.
Cooch.
So
Cooch.
I think
the
Cooch.
Hart Trophy, I think it's going to be McKinnon.
You think McKinnon over Kucherov?
Because Kucherov, I think, is going to win the Art Ross for the most
gonna go for the Hart.
most points, and most valuable player, I think, is going to go to the to McKinnon. Not going to go to McDavid. The Oilers doing the way it's going to go to Kucherov, to McKinnon. Yeah, he is the most valuable player.
I
Polymarket
don't know,
says
yeah.
it's Kucherov, guys.
Yeah,
Cooch.
we'll see. It's a tight race between for this one. This one's a tough one.
Lindy Ruff, Coach of the Year. Interesting.
Coach of the Year. What about Martin St-Louis, man? You think he's going to be, or even Ken Hughes? What do you guys think about Ken Hughes being the GM of the year? Is there talk about that?
No, but I could see
Yeah.
Martin St. Louis being a finalist
Yeah, I
for
could
Jack
see-
Adams.
It's crazy. Polymarket has not even on the list.
But who cares about Polymarket? It's fans voting. Most of
Yeah.
those people don't even know what the hell they're
It's
talking
crypto
about.
morons fucking doing bets.
Right?
John Cooper is
So-
the heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Lindy Ruff as well.
Yeah.
But John Cooper and Lindy Ruff are the two heavy favorites. Yeah. So real deal primer. You might be right. Are you a Buffalo Sabres fan? I guess.
I wouldn't give it to Lindy Ruff. I would give it to John Cooper.
Lindy Ruff's been around, huh? He's been everywhere, this guy. What teams has he coached for?
I think he started in Buffalo. Is it?
I think at one point I remember him being in Buffalo, I think. I could be wrong. Any last words about trophies? All right.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves about stupid awards, guys. We need the cup in Montreal
That's the only
And
award
we
that
don't
matters.
Who cares about the rest?
Usually, if you're gonna bring the cup to Montreal, a good sign is your guys are getting trophies like this.
I agree too.
You
That's
guys
true.
are- you
You're
guys
like in
are up
every
there.
category. Your team's
Either
in
your
every
coach is
category,
up there, or
This is a good
someone's
sign,
always
right?
up there.
Like
Someone's-
it's
yeah.
been a while
Yeah, no,
where
no,
you got guys
but that's what I'm
contending
saying.
like this on the top of the league, right?
if you have guys winning awards, then you have greater chances of winning the cup. I think usually Stanley Cup teams, you usually see their players winning these awards, especially coach. The president, the Art Ross, the Hart, especially the Hart. It kind of paves the way where you're like, maybe not rookie. I wouldn't say the Calder, because that's usually like doesn't
The
really
toss-up.
doesn't tell. It's not a telling to
Imagine
sign.
the year Price won the Vezina and the Hart. He had this team in front of him, like Brian said last time.
Oh, we're gonna
That year was nuts.
Stop talking about it. We get all depressed. Though.
Yeah.
It's
No.
depression.
Fuck. Anyways,
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. All right. Okay, so just want to say, make sure to leave us a comment and share your insights on the top players. Remember, guys, smash that subscribe button and like the episode. It helps us along the way and really motivates us to do this more. And come back for another episode next Thursday at 8:30. Every Thursday at 8:30. All right, let's move along. All right, so with Gaten Gouli's recent confident and dominant performances, is he stepping into a top pair role the organization anticipated for him?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys
well,
think?
again, he had a rough season. Like he looked like he started off strong, and then he got hurt. Then he came back out of injury, and he struggled again. But over the last few games, which is like what I was talking about when we were looking at the lines from last game, like you saw a real change in him. You know, he's got he's
a little
playing
meaner, no? He's a little...
playing up tempo hockey. He's hitting. He's
using
good
his body.
defensively. He's being aggressive.
Big blocker.
He's blocking, which is why you keep him on the left. You keep him with Carrier, and you swallow your pill with Hudson, because Hudson is it's working. It's not the ideal thing right now, but having Gouli playing the way he is better for Montreal than having Hudson on the left and having a worse performance on the ice by one of your defensemen, that is one of your top defensemen, and you don't have another defenseman like him that can hit, that can play rough, that can hit the take the body. You need him to be on his game, because it makes a total difference in the outcomes of the game. And then when he's playing good, he also produces offensively too. So I think if he continues like this, it's the way to go.
I've got a stat here. He drives 56% of the expected goals when paired with Alex Carrier. Interesting.
So I believe he found his game. No, what do you guys think? I think
it's a little bit overhyped.
Oh, yeah?
Shots fired.
no.
You think his light is going to start dimming soon?
No,
It's
I
shining
don't think
bright?
Are you kidding me? This guy's a fantastic defenseman.
Oh yeah, really. Let's go.
You're even talking about trading him as a package
man.
for somebody. It's not a defenseman you trade, man. You keep him.
Okay, so here's the stats that I rang up here. He's got 2
Well,
goals.
you did your
and-
homework.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
That's
good, eh?
Poly Market.
Thank you to Gemini for this one. 2 goals and 10 points so far in the season, right? Well, yes, he's been injured a lot of the season, but
Most of the season.
like usual. Come on, let's be honest with each other here, right? 87 mile an hour shot. That's there's so many more defensemen in the NHL that have a stronger shot than that.
Okay, but we're talking about our team. No,
Yeah, okay. So he's not a first line. He's not meant to be a first pairing. That's what I believe. He's definitely a good second line. Let's say the third, defenseman. I'd say. What else? Yeah, if for speed wise, he's not a strong skater either. He's not a very strong skater. He's not very fast. Yes, he's physical. Good that you get it. Good for you, man. But as for the real statistics, I don't think he's there yet.
He's
He
getting
could
there.
improve. Yeah, he can improve. Of course.
He's only
Don't get me
20
wrong.
Yeah,
He's but is he going to be a number one kind of guy? I don't know.
No,
Well,
I
never
never
thought
said he
he'd
was
be like
number one. But he's supposed to be
holding
your
his own.
top, one of your top pairing defensemen. Your
He's
first
the first
two pairs
line
for sure.
He's
Huh?
first line defenseman. He's top
He's your one of your top
He
two
should be
pairs. Yeah,
top,
yeah.
But he's not playing with Hudson. That's it. He's playing with.
They
Well,
can't
they're-
play with Hudson. They play the same side, right? They play to the left. And I wouldn't play him with Hudson because then everyone else are going to be.
Yeah.
You
Because
gotta
if you
play-
set Hudson, if you turn him over, everybody else is off.
You're trying to balance your stronger defenseman with somebody that's less. You know, so carry works. You have Hudson with people want Hudson with Dobson, but then it messes up all the other guys. So keep Madison and Dobson together. They work well together too. And you have it's just a Struble. It's just a Struble Hudson. I can't swallow that pairing. I just can't.
Why?
Because first of all, because I don't like Hudson on the right. I like him on the left. He's so much more productive on the left, and he makes such a more of a difference on the left. So,
So
but
should
whatever.
Struble be put with Gooley and
No. No, because that's where the problem is.
Oh.
Because they're both left. Then Gooley has to play the right. That's where the problem was. Gooley was playing the right, and he wasn't playing well.
Okay.
You understand? So keep Hudson is better on transition on both. So take that until you bring in someone else, a right-handed defenseman that can balance out your lines, and then you have both Gooley, Hudson, and Matheson, all three playing left, and you have Dobson, Carrier, and whoever else playing the right. Right now, the logical person would be Reinbacher, but I don't know if they're gonna bring him in now, or maybe they'll bring him just before the playoffs as an extra body. But right now, they're going with what they have, right? And then in the off season, they're gonna see what to do. It's gonna be an interesting off season. That's all I can tell you.
What are you thinking?
Well, Montreal, their priority is a top six forward for sure, at least one.
Who are they going to give up for that?
It depends.
Who would you, if you were the GM and you had to pull these trades?
Well, the thing is, get somebody who really fits. You have to give up a lot, but I don't know if it's the right time. Give up. Maybe get somebody temporarily, because nobody, unless there's nobody on the free agency, and there's nobody that's willing to trade these players that Montreal want, and unless it's an older player, and Montreal doesn't want to stack an old a 34 or 35-year-old on that second line. You need somebody to evolve. So they're gonna try out Michael Hage, and then either if they can make a trade for someone else, like Matthew Nyes, that would
Nyes,
work.
yeah.
If not,
That would be a
get somebody
good pickup.
temporarily, and then I would wait until next summer, the summer after.
And get McDavid.
Just, McDavid's a possibility because I don't see him staying, or see who else comes up in conversation. By that time, Montreal is their window is gonna be a lot more open than, because right now their window's not that open. They're just more advanced than they should have been, on the rebuild. So.
You think McDavid would be like seriously interested in coming to, like, has he?
I don't know if he would be interested in coming here, but my argument is that Montreal,
We could pay.
has the
We'll have
means
enough
to
to
do
pay
it
him.
because of the way they structure everything, which we'll
We'll win a
get
Stanley Cup this
into
year. It might happen.
and our next topic. The way they've been signing players. Montreal has but the thing is, you think about what you're giving up. If you decide to go get a player,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give up way more for McDavid.
Yeah, a lot.
Like at least maybe 2-3 first rounders, a prospect or two, and an NHL roster player.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but not any NHL roster player.
No.
It'll have to be like a Suzuki, a Caulfield,
If not two of them.
a Hudson, a Slavkovsky, something like that. Is Montreal willing to do that? I don't see McDavid telling the Oilers, I'm gonna not continue. I'm not gonna come back with you and go to the free agent market without giving the Oilers an opportunity to get something in return. I don't think he's gonna be a prick that way, even though he's being like they're not doing what they're supposed to do to try and make them win. You know, if by next season, if things don't go, he's gonna ask for a trade and he's gonna try and get something for the Oilers. But whoever gets him, they're gonna be paying a pretty penny. That's for sure.
Indeed.
Well,
So this, Manny, to answer your question,
Yeah.
I think Montreal in the offseason, if they can get before they want, they'll get it. If not, I think they're going to get something small and include Hage. And for sure, they're going to go get a defenseman to try and balance out if in case Ryan Brecker is not ready. That's what I think they're going to do. Goalie, I don't think they need. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
But who knows? Somebody made a comment the other day. They said they were... was it Marco D'Amico? He said he was speaking to an executive in the NHL. He goes, the NHL, it's crazy. One day you're basing your decision on one way, and the next day it's totally different because players get hurt so quickly, and your structure and your mindset and the way you have to do things will completely switch. Now I have to do this, you know? So things can change on a dime in the NHL. That's how crazy it is. So, like, nothing's set in stone. Like, Montreal, 92% before this game to make the playoffs. But that doesn't mean they're going to make the playoffs, right? But,
well,
another story.
I think so. I mean,
Especially in the East of there. Crazy.
you think they still have time to blow it? 10 games left?
They could if they go on a bad losing streak, but I don't see it. Especially,
me neither.
especially the next stretch. They're not playing divisional. They're not playing conference divisional teams. They're playing just conference teams, so it's less of an issue. Plus, the teams chasing are going to be playing a little bit more difficult games. Buffalo, Ottawa, Boston. They're all playing difficult teams. Like, look at Detroit. They blew the last few games. They're out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Bruins have it tough right now.
Yeah.
All the rest of their teams. That's what I was going to say. It depends on who how many games do they have left? 10 games? 10 games?
11.
So it depends on who your opponents are. If you're playing last place guys, it's fine.
Yeah.
Bruins are playing, all their teams are over 600 teams.
Yeah.
So it's like, you've got a crazy stretch in front of you now to the playoffs. So if you're playing 600 teams every night or every second night, it's going to be tough for you here on night. So these 2 points, like last night against Buffalo, they needed that.
Yeah, they needed that.
Especially against Buffalo. To kind of make that division just that much tighter for everyone, for themselves.
Yeah. And their schedule is crazy, too.
It is. It's insane.
Yeah. I don't know if all the teams' schedule is like that.
Well, even
Canadians.
Because the Olympics.
The Olympics,
It's
but
kind of...
they can't do this going forward anymore, man. It's crazy.
How many back-to-back games are there? Like, it's insane.
10 games. 10
but-
back-to-back.
When?
No, not back
Throughout the season.
No, back
More
to
than
back.
that. We're talking about.
No, back-to-back is you play one day, you play the
Or a
next
team.
day.
Yeah, like Saturday, Sunday.
I
You guys
think
are
it's
playing
like
a Saturday,
15.
Sunday
Look at this.
game. We just did a back-to-back the other night.
That's it.
Buffalo and...
Every week, I think they have at
Look at
least
this.
one.
Oof.
Oh.
That's it.
Everybody's going into the playoffs dead.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Beaten up, destroyed.
This is why I think the playoffs start and Buffalo's not going anywhere.
No, I think Carolina's not going anywhere because of that. I think Buffalo's going to be a threat.
They're a
Buffalo
sleeper team,
and then,
man. They're a sleeper
Tampa.
team. Yeah.
Cool.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Oh, no, right now they're on fire, these guys.
They can't
Ridiculous.
sustain that speed and go into a playoff style hockey.
No, they got the wings behind their back. Honestly, Buffalo, I would not
guys
bet against these
put
guys.
Buffalo and Tampa in a playoff series now,
Yeah,
and I'm taking
Yeah.
Tampa
Yeah,
all the way.
Obviously. Yeah.
All the way. All the way.
I'd go against that. I'd probably go Buffalo.
Is Hedman still hurt?
Hedman's not personal reasons.
Yeah, for the rest
Oh, that's
of
what
the
it was.
season.
Personal.
Yeah.
That is
All right.
interesting.
Before we go on to the next topic, I want to. Manny, for some reason, dropped this off.
So I figured.
That's beautiful.
Right?
Of course.
Look at
I
the
know
goat
why I
on the
brought
back.
it.
The
Ah,
goat.
there it is.
The goat.
That's a good. When we enter, we can wipe our boots on it. It's good.
No, I was thinking Every year, whoever wins the Stanley Cup, we get the jersey.
All
No?
right.
We put it up.
Yeah.
Be nice, no?
I'd have to check the budget.
Don't worry. No, but look at it's pretty good, man.
Honestly, I like the floor, especially this
It's
one.
nice.
Yeah, it's a super nice jersey.
Shield?
Yeah.
The shield, I like
Yeah.
this
The
logo.
Panther.
Yeah.
Very
on,
nice.
Yeah.
Red,
It's probably
white,
my
and
favorite
gold.
Panther
Very
shield.
nice.
Of
I
all
like it
the-
more than the other one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a lot nicer. Yeah.
The other one had the claws out, no? Where,
The one, like, jumping at you, yeah.
Press the buzzer. It's a big win. Press the buzzer.
Big win.
Cole Caulfield, no goals.
3 shots on net.
Yeah. It's trying. Good,
All
good,
right.
good.
Good work, Montreal. All right. Last topic of the night. Let's do this. Okay. This is going to be a long one. So if Demidov's contract extension happens before this September, when the new CBA changes go into effect, what might the terms of this deal look like? And how will also affect Montreal's cap space and roster for the team's long-term strategy?
So his extension is not September. It's July 1st. He's eligible for an extension as of July 1st.
Yeah, but before September, because there's new CBA changes happening, right?
So some of the CBA changes are coming into effect September 16th.
16.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, do you guys see Montreal signing him to an extension early? Do you see a bridge? What do you guys see?
I think they should lock him down.
Yeah,
Lock
and
him
long
down.
term. And do it early.
He's proved
Don't wait.
proven his value.
Yeah.
You don't have to lock him
No.
down if you could, man.
6 to 8 years. Do it before. As soon as possible. Do it.
Yeah,
Like,
because-
I give me a reason why they shouldn't do that.
Well, you just answered the main question. 8 years, because as of September 16th, you won't be able to sign
Exactly.
you won't be able to sign your players
8
for
years.
more than 8 years.
Exactly.
It's
So
7
do
years
it.
or
What's-
less.
What's the limit?
It's
That's-
7
one of
years
the,
if you own the rights, and it's 6 years if you're signing the player from free agency or from another team.
that's correct.
So right now you can sign him 8. Starting next year, it'll be 7. So right now it's 8 and 7. It'll go down to 7 and 6.
So you don't have those like Shea Weber kind of deals, 10 years. That's no
Rick
longer
DiPietro, 15 years.
That's no more a thing.
So what's
Plus-
the reasonable amount we should expect?
Another reason is he's a big market teams. Usually would have taken advantage of another thing they will no longer be able to do, is to make the front load the contract heavily in the beginning. To make it appealing for the player to be able to take
give
that
him-
money, invest, whatever, and do whatever, bring up a front load with signing bonuses, right?
Little boost.
Well, boosted with signing bonuses,
Yeah.
so you get a big chunk of the money right away.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able
Right.
to do that, and Montreal can do that. That's what they did with when they signed Hudson, right?
They could do that if they sign him before September.
16th.
Yeah, they could do that as soon as July 1st hit. He's
July
eligible.
1st, do it.
July 1st, he's eligible for an extension. So if they sign him between July and September 15th, they
Right.
have advantage of all these advantages,
And you
it's
could
good.
get him for 8 years if you do that.
Exactly. Now, I don't, another good reason why they should sign him is because right away is Montreal has shown that everybody who they signed so far, I don't think he's gonna give pushback, but everybody's taken a cut. Like Hudson was offered like 8.8 something, and he ended up taking like 7 point something, almost 8. He took it home discount. So everybody's taking less for the next guy. So in the long term, it helps Montreal have a lot of flexibility when it comes to the next guy, and being able to keep adding pieces to a team in order to help them win.
You
So
think he's gonna?
absolutely,
You think he's gonna play ball? He's gonna join.
everybody
that,
has already.
Everybody has doesn't mean he will.
Well, this is the thing. That's a great question. I don't think he doesn't have to, but I'm pretty sure he will.
he looks like a good kid.
Yeah.
He looks like, but
The nucleus part of the team right now, they're all like they're so sold
locked.
to this
I think
team
so too.
and to the management. this guy Ken Hughes, he went all the way to freaking Russia to pick up Damirov. You know,
he was on nobody's radar. Did you hear about? Like I saw
that's
this thing.
crazy.
He was on. The only reason they got him is because the Russian guy. They have a Russian guy in their scout.
Barbov.
That guy, and he heard because he's from that area. And he heard about him. That's the only reason. Like that's why everyone was surprised. Everyone passed on him.
There is
But
boy,
at that
Demidov.
moment, no one knew about him that much. No one was really aware of him.
So you guys like Montreal has all the negotiating power because he doesn't even qualify for an offer sheet or for arbitration. So this is another reason why I don't think he's gonna push back. He's gonna give in, and I think Montreal's gonna offer him money. I think he's gonna get an offer a little bit more because of the market, you know. But I see him signing maybe
8.5.
maybe $8 million, yeah, $8 million.
Honestly,
Another
it
eight.
depends who his agent
8 for
is.
8.
It all
for
depends
8.
on that too.
8 for 8. I see that. 8. No,
Something similar to Hudson.
I think 8 for 8 is fair.
Uploading it.
it's more than how. Or even 7. He might even take less because you know he didn't win the call. Another thing, Montreal has an advantage. He didn't win the Calder, so like now you're basing everything. That's the other advantage Montreal has. You have Hudson, who won the Calder Trophy last year, and you know he broke all kinds of records. And they can go to him. Listen, you're our rookie. You were a forward. You were not even a defenseman. You got less points than Hudson. You didn't win the Calder. You lost it to another defenseman. You know, so there's all these things. He's not arbitration eligible because he signed an entry. He signed an entry level contract
You
last
can only
year.
do that after a bridge, right? You can only
he can
before
sign a bridge if he wants. If he wants, he can sign.
No, but the arbitration, you're allowed doing that for a bridge contract.
no.
too?
The reason he's not eligible for arbitration or he's not eligible to get offer sheeted is because when he signed his entry level contract, like he didn't play more than 10 games. So he burnt the first year of his contract last year, but because he didn't play more than 10 games, he's not eligible. So Montreal is all worried. You know, yes, they lost money, but they don't give a shit about burning entry level. They want security long term and be able to secure him longer term. So now they don't have to worry about other teams putting their nose where it doesn't belong. You know, like I laughed the other night. They played against Carolina. It's funny, we didn't see Kakanyemi in the lineup. You know,
Bro, I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
With
you
the
know?
offer sheet.
because they offer sheeted Yahoo,
Yeah.
and they didn't like it, so they freaking wanted to spite Montreal,
Yeah.
and they provided that stupid offer sheet,
Yeah.
which Montreal used those draft picks to, I think to get Dobson, if I'm not mistaken, because they had two first, not Dobson. They used the draft pick for something.
Yeah, it was Dvorak. They got it for Dvorak.
So now Kakanyemi is not even there, and then he's probably gonna get bought out at the end of the season.
Wow.
So this is what happens when
Little wins.
when you act like a child instead of accepting it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You got offer sheeted, you either take it, but don't try to spite another team just because you have to do to them what they did to you. It was part of the rules, and they didn't do anything wrong.
Kakanyemi's agent was like, take it.
Yeah. Huh?
Take the money and run, dude.
Yeah.
You're never going to
You're
see this
worthless.
again, yeah?
Yeah.
BPN,
Man, that's exactly what his agent told him.
Oh, yeah?
For sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Montreal was
I
not.
would if I
Montreal
was
was
his
not
agent,
matching
fuck.
that.
But no, never.
6.1, bro. Take it, hurry up. What a laugh. Just, you know, like IKEA, you know, the girl.
Yeah, but Carolina was like, because Montreal was celebrating. They really thought they were getting Yahoo.
Yeah.
Not knowing that Carolina could have matched up until the last minute, right? And which they did. But then the year after, they fucked them over. Fine. It was.
Hey, man.
It was. It was.
It was made to be.
It was.
You kind of won that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, little wins.
Yeah,
Better.
Montreal won that one all
Get
the
to
way.
the car. Get to the car.
Yeah.
Lock the doors.
Imagine how hard the office in Montreal was laughing when that deal went down. They're like, all right. Take this guy off our hands, whatever.
Bergevin at the time.
So you guys agree with me? They're probably try to sign him as fast as possible.
Oh, for sure they're gonna try.
They should.
How much they're gonna pay is well. Look, I'm looking on Reddit over here for some reason, and some guy says 9.3. Is that too much?
No.
Montreal, he's worth that 9.3.
He's worth it, but I'm basing it on what Hughes and Gordon have done so far.
8.5.
They might offer that.
Yeah, but now
they're-
you're negotiating with Russians. It's different, bro. These guys want to get paid. These guys.
His agent, they're over here. I think they're American. So who is his agent? Is it Milstein? Yeah,
Yeah, Milstein.
yeah. So he's a Jew. So don't worry about it.
Whoa! Easy there.
They're good. They're good.
They're gonna get canceled over here.
Don't worry about getting canceled.
For real. He's Jewish.
There goes the show.
Anti-Semites.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So like yes, it's not It's not a lot what you said, but I think they're gonna end up signing him for less. And I think based on what the rest of the team did, like I said before, he's gonna give in. And Montreal, it would make sense for them. And if they sign him before September 15th, 16th, and get all those advantages, Montreal is sitting pretty because this cap is going up, man. They're gonna have so much leverage to sign these big players in the next 2, 3, 4 years.
Is there any talk how much the cap is?
It's 140 million is gonna go up in the next few years.
Right now it's what, 90, 80?
No, right now it's gonna go up to it's go up to what? 94?
92, 90,
94?
94? I thought it was 92. 94? I think you're right.
Then it's gonna go up to 104,
104.
and then it's going 112, and then 130, 135. They're projecting.
It was 88.
88.
It was 88.
Yeah, but it's gonna go up to like 90
Yeah.
something. They're projecting.
It's 92.4, 92.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said 100. What does that mean? That you said 100?
Well, then the year
No,
after,
meaning like
then the next couple
10
of years.
years, we're
No,
gonna
not 10
have-
years.
no,
in the
but like-
next 3-4 years. Then
3-4
from
years?
94, it's gonna go to 104, then 112, and then projecting 130 to 140.
So in 10 years, we're going to be sitting at
140.
we're going to be sitting at $300
That's
million.
only in 4 years.
salary caps.
That's only in 4 years from now. 3 years from now.
Crazy.
It's not a lot. Not a lot of time. Next year it'll be 92 to 94.
Yeah.
The year after, which is 2 years, it'll be about 104, 102. The
It's
third
crazy.
year
It's a
it'll
big
be
jump.
112,
In
and then the
2
4
years,
in
you
4
went from
years.
65 to 92 million.
In 4
That's-
years.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
From
No, that's the
65.
floor. That's the floor.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Okay,
floor.
sorry. 88.
That's a big jump. Because it goes up like 3-4 million a year, and now it's going to go to
No, but
140.
they're expecting it to go up more every year.
Interesting.
Yeah. So in the next 4 years, they're expecting between 130 to 140 in the fourth year.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
I got to show this to my boss. I'm not getting these fucking raises in
Yeah,
the next 3 years.
seriously.
What the fuck's going on here? I've been telling you, inflation.
Fucking
Where's
assholes.
my inflation? Jesus.
I got one last question before we end this section of the thing. So the way it looks now, Montreal will be playing Tampa Bay if the playoffs are to start today. How do you guys feel about that?
I would say that's the tougher of the opponents.
I think so too.
Definitely.
That's going to be.
I would take Carolina then
they were not going to play Carolina.
Not Carolina, Buffalo.
So seed 1 and seed 2 and 3 play each other,
Yeah.
and seed 1 plays the last wild card, and seed 2 plays the seed 1.
If they pass Buffalo, then they go on to face Carolina.
No, Carolina is going to finish top of
their
their division.
division.
And either Buffalo or Tampa are going to finish at the top of theirs.
Top, and then you
So
got
Carolina and either of those two teams play the wild cards.
yeah.
And then see 2 and 3 of the division. See, like right now, let's say
yeah.
Buffalo and Buffalo finishes. So Carolina and Buffalo, who has more points? Carolina, right? So Carolina would play Pittsburgh, and Buffalo would play Boston.
Yeah.
And Tampa would play Montreal. Columbus would play the Islanders.
Yeah.
So I don't like this structure because
I cannot
after round
stand it.
one, you have potential two teams that are great being out in the first round. I like the 1-8 structure better.
Yeah. Wasn't Sidney Crosby, didn't he say the same thing a few years ago?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good structure.
It's terrible.
Ray
Ray Bork actually this week came out and said that this is garbage structure.
Yeah.
This week.
I have
No
a question
way.
for you guys. Since we were talking about the Demidov extension,
Yeah.
it brings up the conversation of Michael Hage. So right now, he's in Vegas with the team playing for the finals there, the playoffs, whatever it is with the NCAA. Depending on how it goes, do you think Montreal is going to bring him in and sign him and do the same thing like he did with Hudson and Demidov and bring him for ETA entry level contract, or do you think they're going to do what the Bruins did with the rookie that they what's his name there this week?
The guy they picked up this week.
They didn't pick him up. They drafted him.
James Higgins.
Yeah, James Higgins.
No,
Jim,
not pick-
and they
Picked him
gave him a
The ATO.
the ATO, which is a amateur tryout,
Tryout.
or a PTO, which is a professional
Perfect, yeah.
tryout.
Yeah.
What do you
allowed
think?
to give a PTO at the end of a season? Yeah.
Well, because you can an ATO, you can bring him into the directly into the.
You could bring him straight in, no?
No, you can bring him directly into the farm team. So if you sign an entry level contract now,
Mm-hmm.
you
For
can't
the
go
first
play.
year.
You can't. No,
can't play
apart
for
from being first, you're burning the first. You can't go to Laval.
Yeah.
You have to play for. You have to. You can't go down. You're automatically stuck with the team for the rest of the year. So do you see him? Do you prefer them giving him an ATO or an EFT? EFT. Yeah.
NFT,
Give him an NFT too.
a crypto.
Here, have a crypto.
ELC. Sorry, entry level contract.
I don't know. I don't know those ATOs though.
Dude, I'm gonna.
I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for him. I don't know what their.
So it all goes back to the benefit of the. I think
The
Montreal. I think Montreal wants to sign him to an entry level contract. In order, yes, they're gonna burn the year, but the long term, they don't want because they're always looking. You want to get to that. It's that second contract that
Yeah.
makes a difference. That big contract, and
Yeah.
you don't want any interference, right?
Mhm.
So by
Also, it spoils your
by
contract.
not getting any arbitration and by not getting any eligibility to get offer sheeted, makes a big difference for Montreal. They hold all the cards, right? So I think depending on if he finishes his season early and he gets eliminated early, I have a feeling Montreal is going to sign him to an ATO. Send him to Laval, and then give him the entry level contract just before the end of the season. Bring him up if they have to. If not, they'll give it to him before July 1st. Because if they give it to him before the July 1st, he's still eligible for not eligible for that. So, but I think if he finishes late and he goes to the Final Four, I think they're just going to give him the entry level contract right there. Bring him in. He's going to play one game in Montreal, and then they're going to have him sit.
Is there enough time? I think they're just in the quarterfinals. Michigan. Is there enough
If they
time
go
for?
all the way, his last game with them would be April 12th, and Montreal's last game is April 14th. So he'd be. He would be able to play the last game of the season with Montreal, plus the playoffs. And if Montreal after gets eliminated, they can send him down to Laval after, and then they can also send Fowler down after.
Didn't Cole Caulfield do that pretty much? His first. That's the year that they won.
He did the exact same thing. He was in NCAA, and then
Yeah, he went to the finals, I think.
He signed a PT, personal tryout, and then they brought him up when he was ready. He signed his entry level contract in the middle of the season, and they brought him up.
Okay. I'll leave those type of decisions to those management because they
His
obviously know what
agents
they're
would
doing.
like him to sign right away, obviously, right? Because it's the big money right away.
Yeah.
It's the guarantees money even for the company, for his agency. But looking at what happened with the Bruins this week, I see Montreal wanting to sign him to that as well for the long-term benefits. But I think if he finishes early, I see them maybe doing what they did with him, and then just before the end of the season,
Just
give
right
him
before.
because Montreal's going to
Give him a game.
have 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, give
Give him 4 or 5 games in Laval, and then maybe the last game or two
Give him a
bring him up to
Bring him up.
Montreal and burn his contract. Or don't bring him up and just give him his entry level contract before July 1st, and then he's still if you don't think you need him for the playoffs, then just do it before July 1st, and they would still benefit from that. Then he would stay with Laval and help them go on a run. I think it all depends how he finishes.
Depending on how he finishes
But
off with this.
I don't really mind them losing that year. Who gives a shit? It's minimal money. Montreal
It's the second. Yeah,
it's such a big market team.
Yeah.
They can afford to lose a year
Yeah, just
because if they have to, once they negotiate with these type of players on their first official main contract, they don't have to worry about all that bullshit that comes along with it. You know, they have more control in negotiation, right? Like they're doing very good, man. This management team has been so good. They're so structured. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, I think we have to go to close out. It's already 10.
Yeah.
Let's close out the night. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate all your chat messages and energy. It really makes the podcast come alive, and we appreciate it, even though it was a little quiet tonight. Be sure to catch us every Thursday at 8:30 Eastern. And until then, go Habs, go.
Night, boys.
Good night.